of Lord Krishna.
Ma'am, how are you, ma'am?
I've got the water here with me. I'm okay, but you never know what will happen. I'm okay so far. Thank you so much for asking. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we've moved to Vishwaroop Darshan, and this is in this chapter. Arjuna is going to request the Lord to show him the Vishwaroopa or the universal form. Sri Krishna, he grants Arjuna the divine vision to see his universal form, right? And he will see the entire creation in the body of Krishna. Unlimited arms, faces, stomachs, no beginning, no end, everywhere in all directions. And his radiance is like similar to 1,000 suns. If you see 1,000 suns blazing in the sky, the sight is exactly like that. The hair stands on the end of Arjuna. He witnesses the three worlds, they're trembling, and all the demigods, they are taking shelter. So many rishis, munis, sages, all offering prayers to Krishna. Then Arjuna sees the Kauravas, they are rushing into the mouth of the formidable form. And looking at that form, Arjuna is like, my heart and my mind, everything is unstable with fear, And then he says on Krishna's request, Arjuna's request, Krishna then shows his four-armed form. And then soon after, he resumes his Shyam Sundar, most gentle and most beautiful and charming, his Shyam Sundar form, two-armed form, because of the unalloyed devotion of Arjuna. So let's see. Okay, we start with who is going to read the translation today, chapter translation? Anybody volunteering here today?
Ma'am.
Okay. Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaaya Paramam Guhyamadhyantma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama.
I have heard your instruction on confidence in spiritual matters, which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled.
So now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says his illusion is over. In order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna to show his universal form. Bhavapyayo hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya tvattah kamalapatraksha mahatmayamapi chavyayam.
O Lords, Eyed One, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, as realized through your enhanced glories.
Inexhaustible glories. Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as Kamala Patraksha, lotus eyes. His eyes are so beautiful. It appears like a petal of lotus flower. It's so beautiful. And he says this, out of joy. Because Krishna has assured him in the previous chapter, Aham Kritnasya Jagata Prabhava Pralayas Tatha, means I am the source of appearance and disappearance of all this material manifestation. So now Arjuna is asking Krishna, I know you are the supreme controller. I know you are the non-doer. I know you are responsible for everything. You bestow all the results of our karmas. You are impartial. You are equal to everyone. So that is what he is saying in Shloka 2. एवमेतत् यथा तत्त्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम.
O greatest of all personalities, O Superman,
supreme form,
through I see here before me your actual position, I yet wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic
manifestation.
I want to see that form of yours.
So now in this shloka, Arjun declares that he accepts the reality of Lord's divinity, his personality, right? Divine personality. So that whatever has been described so far, he has complete faith in his personal form. Yet he desires to see Krishna's Vishwaroopa, universal form, with all his opulences. He wishes to see with his own eyes. He knows he is supreme personality of Godhead, yet he wants to see. मन्यसे यदि तच्छक्यं मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो योगेश्वर ततो मे त्वं manam avyayam.
If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self.
He says here, O Yogeshwar, I have expressed my wish. Yog Ishwar, he is full Yog Ishwar. I have expressed my wish. So if you consider worthy of it, then by your grace, please reveal your universal form to me. Yoga Aishwarya, mystic opulence. So now Arjuna is pleading Krishna for his grace. He does not give Krishna order, he is not in a position to give him order. Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself to anyone, right? And unless one surrenders fully to Krishna, he is not ready to show anything. So we must surrender to him in full Krishna consciousness and engage in devotional service like Arjun. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashya me Partha Rupani Shatashotas Sahasrasha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini cha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, O son of
Pritha.
Partha, Pritha, see now my opulences,
Opulences.
hundreds of
Opulences.
opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine and multicolored forms.
Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in his universal form, right? So Krishna is using the word Pashya. Pashya means behold, observe carefully, okay? To indicate that Arjuna must pay attention. So the universal is not possible to be seen by anybody, by any ordinary man, right? Krishna has to give him divine power to see it. इहैकस्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं पश्याद्य सचराचरं मम देहे गुडाकेश यच्चान्यद्द्रष्टुमिच्छसि.
O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future, everything moving and non-moving in here completely in one place.
So he's saying no one in the entire universe while sitting in one place can see, right? You cannot see the entire creation, entire universe sitting in one place. Even the most advanced scientist also, he cannot see what is happening in the other part of the universe sitting in one place. But after hearing Lord Krishna's instructions to behold his form, Arjuna is wondering where to see. So Krishna is stating, it is within the body of the supreme divine personality. So there he will see the infinite universes with all their moving and non-moving entities. Where will you see? Within this body you see, wait. He's saying, Natumam shakyase drashtum anenaiva swachakshusha divya dadamite chakshu pashyame yogamaishwaram.
But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence.
A pure devotee does not like to see, Krishna in any form except actually his two-hand form, Shyam Sundar form, right? Devotee can only see the universal form by Krishna's grace, not with the mind, but you have to have a spiritual eye. So the universal form of Krishna is not very, very important. That will be clear now. In coming verses, we'll come to understand that. Why? Yet, Arjuna wants to see the universal form. So Krishna says, okay, I'm going to give you the vision, particular vision that is required to see this universal form. Devotees normally don't want to see Vishwaroopa, the universal form, but Arjun wanted to see, right, to prove Krishna's statement, so that, you know what, in future, people will not just say, oh, Krishna just said theoretically, or Krishna just said something in Bhagavad Gita philosophically. No. So that Krishna is supreme, but he actually want to prove. Arjuna wants to make Krishna show the universal form so that it is proved, and it is proven in future also that practically also he has presented himself as such to Arjuna. Sanjaya vacha eva muktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro harihi darshayamasa parthaya paramam rupamaishwaram.
Sanjaya said, O king, speaking thus, the Supreme, the Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna.
So Arjun, he has referred to Lord Krishna as Yogeshwar in even in verse 11.4 also, right? So now Sanjay has referred to him as Mahayogeshwar. Yogeshwar, Mahayogeshwar, he's adding a superlative, like he is greater than great, Lord of all yogis. So Sanjay is saying Mahayogeshwar. Sanjay was also bestowed with the far-sighted vision. Who? Anybody knows? By his guru, Vedvyas. So he also could see the Lord's universal form in the same manner as Arjun could see it. So in the next 4 verses, Sanjay is going to describe to Dhritarashtra what Arjun saw. अनेकवक्त्र नयनम अनेकाद्भुत दर्शनम अनेक दिव्याभरणम दिव्यानेकोदतायुधम दिव्यमाल्याम्बरधरम दिव्यगंधानुलेपनम सर्वाश्चर्यमयम देवम अनंतम विश्वतोमुखम.
Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wonders. The form was decorated with divine, dazzling ornaments and arrayed in many garbs. He was garbed gloriously, and there were many saints simmered over his body. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna.
So Sanjay here is elaborately telling. He elaborated about Krishna's divine universal form. He, by what all words he used? Many, aneka, ananta, unlimited. So in these 2 verses, he is repeating the word many so many times, just to indicate that, there is no limit to the number of hands he had, number of mouths he had, number of legs he had, so many other manifestations. It was totally unlimited, what Arjuna was saying. So these manifestations, they were distributed throughout the universe. But by the grace of God, grace of Lord Krishna, Arjun could see while sitting in one place, right? That was due to his inconceivable, unimaginable power of Krishna. If Krishna would not have given him the power, he couldn't be seeing all this. दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य भवेद्युगपदित्यत यदि भासदृशी स्यात् भासस्तस्य महात्मनः.
If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of Supreme Person in that universal form.
What Arjuna saw is you cannot describe also. Yet Sanjay is trying to give the mental picture to Dhritarashtra. He has to explain, right? Neither Sanjay nor Dhritarashtra were there in the war, in the Kurukshetra war. But Sanjay, because of the grace of Vedvyasa, he could see what was happening. So he's comparing the situation, trying to understand and trying to tell whatever unimaginable phenomena is happening over there, like thousands of suns, he's trying to explain to Dhritarashtra. तत्रैकस्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं प्रविभक्तमनेकधा अपश्यद्देव देवस्य शरीरे पाण्डवस्तदा.
At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expanses of the universe situated in one place, all through, divide into many, many thousands.
So the word tatra there is very significant over here. It indicates that both Arjuna and Krishna, they were sitting in the chariot when Arjuna saw the universal form. Others on the battlefield could not see this form, right? Because Krishna gave vision to only to Arjuna. He didn't give to everyone. So Arjuna could see in the body of Krishna many thousands of planets. We come to know through Vedic scriptures also, there were many universes, many planets. And sitting on the chariot, Arjuna could see everything. But no one could understand what was going on between Arjuna and Krishna. Anyone else would want to volunteer apart from Anisha?
Ma'am.
Should I, ma'am?
Shall I?
Okay, please.
Shall I?
Yes, please. ततः विस्मया विष्टो हृष्टरोमा धनञ्जयः प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं कृताञ्जलिरभाषत.
Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end,
Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord.
So Arjun was amazed and he was having a lot of respect. It kept on coming. The reverence was coming. It kept on as he was seeing the breathtaking spectacle. It filled him with full devotion. It was giving him so much of delight, happiness. He was dazed. He was sweating. His voice was choking. He was trembling. His complexion became ashen, kind of shedding tears. He was crying, seeing the Lord, universal form. These are the physical symptoms you have when you have so much love in the heart for something that you see. So this is what Arjun was experiencing that time. His hair was all standing on his hands when he uttered these words. So what Arjun said is described in the next 17 verses. He kept on glorifying the Lord Krishna. Arjuna vacha Pashyami devanstava devadehe sarvamstata bhuta vishesha sangan brahmandamisham kamalasanastam nishinshta sarvan nuragamshta divyan.
Arjuna said, "My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled together in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower as well as Lord Shiva and many sages and divine serpents."
Arjun sees everything in the universe. So therefore he can see Brahma also. He was the first creature of the universe, right? And he could see the divine serpent upon which Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying in the lower regions of the universe. He can see from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu up to the topmost part of the universe, and on the lotus flower planet where Brahma is residing. He could, what does it mean? He could see the beginning to the end. Everything could be seen by Arjuna. And where was he sitting? He's sitting in one place on the chariot. How is this possible? It could be only possible by the grace of Supreme Lord Krishna. Aneka bahu dharavatra netram pashyami tvam sarvato mantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishweshwara vishwarupa.
O Lord of the universe, I see in your universal body many, many forms, bellies, mouths, eyes expanded without limit. There is no end, there is no beginning, and there is no middle to all this.
Arjuna is expressing the vastness of the form. He's experiencing that, and by saying that, from whatever angle he's saying, he cannot make out what is going on, about his manifestation. When he's searching for the beginning, he's unable to find it. He's searching for the middle. He cannot again get success in that. He's trying to find out where is the end. He cannot find there is no limit to the whole panoramic view, he can see that. Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha tejo rashim sarvato deeptimantam pashyami tvam durnirishyam samantat deeptanalarka yutimaprameyam.
Your form, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs, is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgences, which is fiery and immeasurable like the sun.
As the sun dazzles in the eye, right? When we see the universal form was immensely, it was stunning to the eyes. He was able to see, he was only because he had received the divine eyes from the Lord. Otherwise, it's impossible to see that. So within that universal form, he perceived the four-armed Vishnu form of the Lord with having all the four famous emblems. He has the mace, he has the conch, he has the disc, and the lotus flower. We could see all that. Twamaksharam paramam veditavyam twamasya vishwasya param nidhanam twamam veshya shashvata dharma gopta sanatanastvam purusho mato me.
You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion.
So in his tribute to Lord Krishna, Arjuna is expressing his realization that the personal form of the Lord standing before him was the same supreme absolute truth that is the object of all the Vedic knowledge that he is getting. Anadi madhyantam ananta viryam Anantabahum Shashisuryanetram Pashyami Tvam Deepta Hutashavakram Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam.
You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance.
There is no limit to the extent of the 6 opulences that the Supreme Personality of God has had. And here in many other places, there is repetition. According to the scriptures, there is a repetition of glories of Krishna, right? It's not a literary weakness or something. It is said that at the time of that time, wonder, it's totally wonderful. Whenever you are in ecstasy, you see something so wonderful out of this world. You keep on repeating again and again. Oh wow, kind of. And that is why the statements are repeated over here again and again, Dhyava prithivyoridamantaram hi vyattanam tvayaikena dishashcha sarva ishva adbhutam rupamugram tavedam lokatraya pravyatitam mahatman.
Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed.
Dhyava prithivyo, it means the space between the heaven and the earth. And lokatrem, loka means world, trem means three. So all the 3 worlds, they are very significant words in this shloka, because it appears that not only did he see the universal form of the Lord, he could see other planetary systems also. So Arjuna is seeing not only the universal form, and whatever he's seeing, it's not a dream. Amihi tvam surasangha vishanti kechit bhita prana jalayo grinanti swasti yuktva marishi siddha sangha suvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhi.
All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns.
He's seeing the Kala Rupa of Krishna, which is called all devouring time, eating, like everything goes inside. So this attack of time, it consumes greatest of the time, it attacks and it takes away all the greatest of personalities. It's not about who is going in. Time comes, gone. So the greatest of personalities, demigods also go in, right? At that time, if it has to go, it means time has come, means everybody gone. So Arjuna is seeing them entering into that universal form. They're all with folded hands, as if they're in, like an eternal servant, like, and they're all folding hands to the Kala Rupa of Krishna. At the same time, the sages are there, the rishis, the munis, all these people are there, all worshipping Krishna, right? With their thoughts, their words, their deeds, everything. So the demigods, they are all scared because of the terrific manifestation of the universe. Everybody doesn't get to see this all the time, right? So they are praying for protection. They're scared now. Wow, what kind of, they're scared of the manifestation. Rupam mahate bahuvaktra netram mahabaho bahubahu rupatam bahudaram bahudram shrakaralam drishtva loka pravyatita tathaham.
O mighty armed one, all the planets with the demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I.
There are so many hands, like stomach of God everywhere. So he has thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of feet. That naturally anybody will be scared. He's enveloping the whole of universe, but he's transcendental, right? And he resides in the hearts of all human beings. So those who are seeing and those who are like observing all this, they're terrified. It's not so easy to see that, right? And they're terrifying, and they're all within the universal form of the Lord. It's so terrifying to see everything going inside Lord's mouth. It is from the fear of God, right? The fire is burning, the sun is coming, the sun is rising. Out of fear, the wind is blowing. Indra is causing the rain to fall. Everybody comes under that God, right? Even the Yamaraj, the god of death, he is also fearful. He is also trembling. Arjuna could see everybody like holding hands and trembling right in front of him. Nabhasprisham deeptam aneka varnam Gyatananam deepta vishala netram Vishtva Prapyatitantaratma Dhitam Navindami Shamam Cha Vishnu.
Oh, all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind.
After seeing this universal form of God, it changed the whole relationship of Arjun with Lord Krishna. Earlier, he used to look upon him as intimate friend, he used to interact with him in very informal manner. But now, that was because of love, right? But it absorbs the mind so deeply that, you forget that who is in like formal position of your beloved Lord. But in formality is retained, what happens, you cannot love fully. It becomes like, oh God, like, that's different relationship. Like, for example, if you see a wife loves her husband very deeply, for example, and the husband is like a governor of a city, a governor of a state, right? So wife looks upon him as a husband only. She doesn't look upon him as a governor, right? If she has to interact with him intimately, in case she has to, right? So she has to keep this knowledge in her head that if she keeps thinking, oh, my husband is governor, what will happen? Each time whenever he will be coming, she will be like inclined to stand on her feet. So pay her respect also. So if she cannot think like that, right? If she thinks of him as an official position, she won't be able to love him that way, similar way. So the same thing applies with God. Like now, Arjuna was his very good friend, very, intimate friend. Now, when he's seen this universal form, the relationship is like, oh God, like another Aishwarya Bhakti, not Sakya Bhakti. It changed. अमी च त्वां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्राः सर्वैः सहैवावनिपालसङ्घैः भीष्मो द्रोणसूतपुत्रस्तथासौ सहास्मदीयैरपि योधमुख्यैः वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाणा विशन्ति द्रंष्ट्राकरालानि भयानकानि केचित् विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु सदृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः.
All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths, and some I see trapped with heads mashed between your teeth.
In the previous verse, Lord had promised to show Arjuna things that he would be like very interested in seeing. Now, what did he see? He sees the leaders of the opposite party, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, soldiers, even Arjuna's side soldiers also. Everybody is annihilated, everyone. So this is an indication, that after the death, nearly all the persons who were assembled in Kurukshetra, everybody will die. Arjuna will emerge victorious. It's a sign. It could be seen that. It is also mentioned here like that Bhishma, who is like unconquerable. Nobody can, kill him. He will also be smashed. Karna will be smashed. Not only the great warriors of other party like Bhishma, some of the great warriors of Arjuna's side also will die. Yatha nadinam bhavombuvegaah samudrameva bimukha dravanti तथा तवामी नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्राण्यभिविज्वलन्ति.
As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths.
Such a nice analogy, right? Waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, warriors going into the mouth. So there are many noble kings and warriors in the war who fought like with as their duty. They laid down their lives on the battlefield, right? Arjuna compares them to the river waves willingly merging into the ocean because they're fighting for their side. So there were so many others who fought out of greed, out of self-interest. Arjuna is comparing them with moths being lured into the fire. So in both cases, they are going into death only. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धो लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योद्धाः.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time, I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain.
Although Arjuna knew Krishna was his friend, right? His Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he was puzzled by various forms that was exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he is asking further, like he asked for what is the actual mission of this devastating force? What is the mission? What is the aim? So eventually what? Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, everyone will be devoured by like a meal. He will be eating like a meal by Supreme Lord. And here Krishna is presenting himself in that all form, in that universal form. He can see everything going inside, except for a few Pandavas, right? Everyone who was present on the battlefield would be devoured or eaten by him. So Arjuna was not actually in the favor of the war, right? He thought it was better not to fight. Earlier, at that time, he said, no, I don't want to fight. So there would be no frustration only if I don't fight. In reply, what did Lord say? He said, even if you don't fight, everyone will be destroyed. Everyone will be killed. But that was the plan. That is Krishna's original plan. Even if Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die another way. Even if he did not fight, he would still die. That is the plan. So he cannot change the plan. Anybody else would want to volunteer to read can read. Tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samruddham mayaivaite niyato purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin.
Therefore, get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyachin, can but an instrument in the fight.
It's Savyasachin. Savyasachin means
Savyasachin, okay.
Yeah, Savyasachin is the name of, why did he call Savyasachin? He called Arjuna Savyasachin. You know why? Because Savyasachin refers to who can shoot very expertly, who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. So Krishna, that is why he calls him Savyasachin. And he said Savyasachin is like ambidextrous also. He could use both his hands to shoot. So Krishna says, just become an instrument. Nimitta matram means small. Nimitta matram. The word is also very significant. Nimitta matram. So whole world is moving, right, according to the plan of Krishna. Foolish persons who do not have enough knowledge, they think that nature is moving without a plan. That's not correct. Krishna has revealed to Arjuna here that Kauravas will perish, will die. Kingdom of Hastinapur should be administered by Pandavas in according to the rules of Dharma. So he has already decided that these people will be killed because they are not doing the right thing. And there will be a victory. And the outcome of the battle also Krishna knew beforehand. So the whole plan, the grand scheme for the welfare of the world, it cannot be just averted by any means. It has been planned. It will happen. So he is now informing Arjuna that he wishes him to be nimitta matram, means the instrument of his work. You don't think so much, just be the instrument. Actually, God does not need anybody. He doesn't need any human being. He doesn't need anyone to help him. He can do everything if he wants to, right? So opportunities come our way to accomplish something for the pleasure of the Lord we should do, because he is giving credit to us actually. Yeah, right? He's gracing us. We are servants of God. So he's encouraging Arjuna also here. You be the instrument. I am there, but you be there. So credit will go to you. You be the instrument. He's reminding him, you have exceptional skills. Savyasachin. Okay, you have received such art of archery by Krishna's grace. So you can do it. So he's addressing him as Savyasachin, means expert archer. Means he is also ambidextrous, means he is able to use arrows with both his hands. Ambi means both, right? Amphibian, like we say, amphi. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratham cha karnam tathanyaya piyodhaviran maya hatastam jaima vyatishta yudhyasva jetasi rane sapatnan.
The blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, are already destroyed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies.
Many of the generals on the side of Kauravas are undefeatable, actually undefeatable in war. Like, for example, Jayadratha, he had the boon. Whoever will cause his head to fall on the ground would instantly have his own head burst into pieces. That was Jayadratha's boon. Karna, if you see, he had special weapon called Shakti, which was given to him by Indra. He could slay anyone with that, using that, It could be but used only once. So what did he keep it for? Because he wanted to take a revenge with Arjun, he kept it for Arjuna. Next is Dronacharya. Dronacharya, he received all the knowledge from whom? Great Parshuram. He was the avatar of God, right? He got all the weapons from him, how to neutralize them, every knowledge he had. Bhishma, he had the boon that he would die when he chose to do so. Yet, if God wished them to die in the battle, nothing can save. Nobody can save them. So Krishna is saying over here, he had already decided the outcome. But he wishes Arjun to be the medium to accomplish it. Why? He wants to Arjun to receive the glory, right? Like devotees want to glorify God. God's nature is to glorify his devotees. Whenever you have a devotee, God wants to glorify him. Now, Lord Krishna does not want the credit to go to him, right? He wishes people to say, oh, Arjun fought the battle. He was so brave. He fought valiantly. He secured victory for the Pandavas. In spiritual life too, as parents, sometimes, in spiritual, we become very disheartened. We are not able to do, I'm not able to remove my anger, my greed, my envy, my lust, my pride. What to do? Then what Guru says, he says, don't be dejected. You can do it. You can fight, conquer your mind, because God wants you to succeed. Same way that Krishna is giving credit to Arjun. He says, you can do it. You can do it. Right? So we have to have that surrender. We have to surrender it. If we won't surrender, then we won't get his grace. So now what was Arjun's reaction upon hearing Lord's? He's saying, do some action. Sanjaya vacha etat shrutva vachanam keshavasya kritanjalirvepamanah kiriti namaskritva bhuya evaha krishnam sagadgadam bhita pranamya.
Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna trembled, fearfully offered obeisances with folded hands, and began, falteringly, to speak as follows.
He saw the situation created by the universal form of Krishna, right? Became very bewildered in wonder. He began to offer his obeisances to Krishna again and again. His voice was faltering, right? He began to pray, but not as a friend this time, as a devotee in wonder. Arjuna uvacha sthane hushikesha tava prakirtya jagat prahashrat yanurajyate cha rakshamsi bhitani disho dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha.
Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
When Arjuna saw the universal form of Lord, the demigods were there. They were also very happy to see. But there are demons and they are atheists, They cannot stand the somebody glorifying God. They don't like it. They don't like when somebody is praising God. So Arjuna is drawing this parallel, saying that, it is only appropriate that the world glorifies their Supreme Lord. Demons should be frightened of him. And saintly personalities, the sages, rishis, should offer devotional prayers to him. In all the cases, devotee will glorify the Lord. Why? Because he knows whatever Lord will do, he will do for the good of all, everyone. Excuse me. Kasmachatena namiranmatman gariyase brahmanopyadikartre ananta devesha jagannivasa twamaksharam sat tatparam yat.
O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refugee of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation.
He is mentioning Krishna is greater than Brahma. Why? Because Brahma is created by him. Brahma, where was he born from? He was born from the lotus stem, grown from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, where he is Krishna's plenary expansion. Vishnu is Krishna's expansion only. They're all same. So therefore, Brahma, Shiva, they were born of Brahma only, right? Brahma and Shiva, they were born out of him. And all other demigods must offer their respectful obeisances. That's what it's written over here. Tvamadideva Purusha Purana, Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam, Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama, Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupa.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refugee above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
You are the supreme refuge. So he is addressing Lord Krishna as original divine person. He is the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Brahma has already told in Brahma Samhita. Every object, every personality has a cause, right? It has a source from where it is coming. And everything has to have a source. So even Lord Vishnu has a cause. So although he is form of God only, he is an expansion of Lord Krishna. However, Krishna is not the expansion of any personality. They are expansion of Krishna, but Krishna is not the expansion of any personality. He is the original. He is the causeless. So first cause of everything that exists, right? Even Brahma has prayed to him. Ishwara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. This is Brahma himself is saying that Lord Krishna is the original form of Supreme Lord. His personality is full of knowledge and bliss. He is the origin. He is without origin. He is the cause of all causes. He is praising Krishna like anything. Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadav, he Sakheti. Ajanata mahimanam tavedam. Maya pramadat pranayena vapi. Yachapah sartamasatkrutosi. Viharashayya sanabhojaneshu. Eko tavapyat yutatat samaksham. Takshamai tvam ahamaprameyam.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
Arjuna is admitting, that formally he did not know Krishna could assume such a huge universal form, right? He had explained to his intimate friend, but still he couldn't understand. He did not know how many times he may have dishonored Krishna by calling him, hey, oh friend, oh Krishna, oh Yadava, without, acknowledging his opulence. He has done many times. So he's very now he's wondering, but Krishna is very kind. He's very merciful. In spite of whatever opulences he has, he's so down to earth. He played with Arjuna as his friend, right? Arjuna had seen, now he's seeing the opulence in the universal form. But he cannot forget what kind of friendly relationship he had with Krishna. Sorry. Adrishtapurvam rishitoshmi drishtva bhayena cha pravyatitam mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa.
After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe.
Arjuna is very happy to see Krishna but he's very happy, he's very glad that Krishna could show the universal form. But at the same time, After seeing the universal form, he's very afraid. He's scared. Yes, and then he's thinking, oh my God, how have I treated Krishna? I have made so many offenses in the friendship. His mind is disturbed now. He's scared. His mind is full of fear now. As such, he had no reason to be scared. Krishna is not going to say anything. So, but Arjuna is still asking Krishna, now please, I have seen your universal form. Show me your Narayan form. You can assume any form. I know now. Because the universal form, it is temporary, it is material, because the whole world is material and a whole world is temporary. The whole material world is temporary. So this is also temporary. Show me your Narayan Rupa. Because in Vaikuntha planets, Narayana stays there in Vaikuntha planet in 400 roop, 400 form. So Arjuna is requesting, I want to see a 400 form, please. Show me with different arrangements. You're holding the conch shell, the mace, the lotus, and the disc. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichham tvam drashtumaham tathaiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte.
O universal Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
Yeah, Arjuna knew the Supreme Krishna's original form, personality of Godhead. He knows this is temporary universal form, right? So he's asking him to show Narayan Roop. So this verse here, it is going to establish without any doubt the statement from Srimad Bhagavatam also, that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and all other features are originating from him. So one who knows Krishna will be free from all whatever pollution we have in our mind or whatever contamination we have from this material world. न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनेन दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिवृग्रैः एवं रूपश्चक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीरा.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form, in this material world.
He says, whatever you say, Krishna declares, he said, whatever, no amount of self-effort, whatever you study, Vedic text you study, you do all the rituals, you do ceremonies, you do severe austerities, you do fasting, do even charity also, generous charity also. Still, it is insufficient to bestow the vision of this universal form of mind. Nobody can see it. It's only possible through divine grace. What is the logic? The logic is very straightforward. Our physical eyes, they are made from matter. So hence all we can see is matter or material. But Supreme Lord, he is non-material, he is divine, right? He's transcendental. To have the form, to have the vision of his divine form, we need that kind of eyes. We need divine eyes. So when God bestows his grace upon the soul, he adds that divine power to that material kind of eyes that we have, right? Only then we can see him. And then we can perform all these bodily penances, everything we can. And we have to be like, and unless and until we are like Arjun, it's not possible to see the universal form. Arjun was a great devotee. So we may ask why Sanjaya could see. If Arjun has seen, how Sanjaya is seeing? We know that, right? Mahabharata also states that Arjun could see that because he received divine eyes because of his guru, Vedvyas. He was also avatar of God only. So before the war, Vedvyas offered, told Sanjay, I can give you the divine vision so that you may tell, what is happening in Kurukshetra war to Dhritarashtra. So he could see the same universal form that Arjun saw. Ma te vyatha ma cha vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam ghoramidrung mamedam vyapeta bhiv prita manah punastvam tadeva me rupamidam prapashya.
You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire.
In the beginning, Arjuna was very much disturbed, right? He didn't want to kill Homa. How can I kill Bhishma? How can I kill Drona? They are my grandfather. He is my master. He is my guru. But Krishna said he need not be afraid of killing anyone. No, don't be afraid of killing your grandfather. When the sons of Dhritarashtra, they were trying to disrobe Draupadi in the court, what happened? Bhishma and Drona, they were silent. And for such kind of adharma, they should be killed. That's what Krishna is saying, right? So Krishna is showing his universal form to Arjuna just to show that these people were already killed for whatever action, unlawful and adharma action that they had done. That scene was shown to Arjuna. That time, then when he sees that he will at least be peaceful, and then they will, understand what is going on. He will understand the purpose of the revelation of the universal form, right? The purpose was served. Now Arjuna wanted to see the four-armed form, and Krishna showed him. So devotee is actually not very much interested in universal. Why will anybody want to see that frightening kind of a universal form? No devotee wants to see that, right? So devotee wants to see respectful, worshipful feelings he would offer. So he wanted to see Krishna's two-handed form now, where he can offer his loving service now. Because any form, best was to form Krishna's form, where he could reciprocate the love to Krishna. Sanjay Uvacha Ityarjunam Vasudevastatoktva Swakam Rupa Darshayamasa Bhuyah Ashvasayamasa cha Bhitaminam Bhutva Punas Soumya Vapur Mahatma.
Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
So when Krishna appeared before as a son of Vasudeva and Devaki, how did he first appear? He appeared in four-armed form only. He showed his Narayana Rupa. And when he was requested by his parents, please transform yourself into an ordinary form. Then he appeared as an ordinary child in appearance, right? Similarly, Krishna knew Arjuna was not interested in seeing his four-handed form. But since Arjuna asked him to show, he showed. Otherwise, he was not in, he knew. So he got back into two-handed form. Here it is written like, Soumya Mahatma, Bhutva Punas Soumya Vapur Mahatma, Soumya. Soumya Vapu means very beautiful form. So Krishna's original two-handed Shyam Sundar form is very beautiful, right? Whenever Krishna used to be there, everybody would keep staring at him. The gopis would leave their own kids and come to see Krishna. That beautiful he was. He was so attractive, right? He is the controller, proprietor of the whole universe. So now he banished all the fear from Krishna and he showed him the beautiful form of Krishna. In Brahma Samhita also, Brahma has stated, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So only a person whose eyes smeared with love, ointment of love, he can see the beautiful form of Sri Krishna. That's what Brahma said in his prayers. Arjuna Uvacha. Anybody else wants to volunteer? Arjuna Uvacha. Drishtvedam manusham rupam tava swamyam janardana idanimasmi samvrittaha sachetah prakritim gataha.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature.
So seeing Lord Krishna in beautiful two-armed form, that reconfirmed, it strengthened Arjuna's sentiment of Sakhya Bhav. Sakhya Bhav is like friendly emotion. Now, thus Arjuna says, I have regained my composure. I can breathe. I am back to normal. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Drishtavanasi Mama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha.
The Blessed Lord said, My dear Arjuna, the form which you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking opportunity, which is so dear.
चप्पल नहीं छोड़ेगा मेरी अब ये।
Please mute in case you are unmuted yourself.
मेरी छो
Hare Krishna.
मेरी स्वान
Having shown Arjun the universal form, and he has praised him, being unavailable anyone to but him. Lord Krishna does not want to, slacken his love for the personal form of God. He has shown everything, but don't slacken your love. So Krishna says the way in which Arjun sees God is exceedingly rare. He emphasizes that even demigods, they also want to see, they want to realize God in his two-armed personal form as he's standing before Arjun. That's not possible by any amount of Vedic studies, any puja, part, sacrifice, you do whatever. So the basic principle, spiritual principle is that God cannot be known by the strength of one's own efforts, God, those who engage in devotional service or devotion, they will get the grace from God. Once you get Krishna's grace, anything is possible. That's what he said. If none of these means help to realize God in his personal form, then how can he be seen in this manner, right? He reveals the secret. He is going to tell the secret. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya ahamevam vidhorjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa.
My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
Krishna can be understood only by one thing: undivided devotional service. He is emphasizing bhakti, the means to attain him. Earlier also in 11.48 verse here in this chapter, he stated universal form also can be seen by devotion. In this verse, Lord Krishna is declaring two-armed form as he is standing before Arjun can only be realized through bhakti. Without devotion, you cannot attain God. No matter how much you may try through all the practices of Ashtanga Yoga, this knowledge, that knowledge, detachment, you can try anything, but you need to have bhakti, devotion, right? In the next verse, Krishna will describe what bhakti is. मत्कर्म कृन्मत् परमः मद्भक्त संग वर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः समामेति पांडव.
My dear Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me.
Friendly to every living entity. Very important point. In this verse, it is this verse, this shloka is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita? It's a book to talking to conditioned souls like us who are engaged in this whole material world only. We are always trying to hoard something all the time. We do not know what real spiritual life is. It is telling us, it is for us that Bhagavad Gita has come. It is meant to show how we can understand the spiritual existence, how we can know the eternal relationship that we have with Krishna or spiritual personality, and to teach how to go back home. That is our home, spiritual home, back to Godhead. So the devotee of Krishna, how is he? What is the symptom of devotee? Is very friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said, Nirvaira. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu means he has no enemy. How is this possible? So a devotee who is situated in Krishna consciousness, or he is doing his devotional service to Krishna, he can be relieved. He can be relieved from all the problems of life. That is very important. But you need to have proper devotion, true devotion. He has a personal experience. You can feel it personally. So therefore, he wants to introduce to everyone. So he wants to introduce Krishna consciousness to his friends. He wants to go and tell his relatives. He wants to tell his parents, you know what Krishna consciousness is. And he wants to go into the society and tell real Krishna consciousness person. So many examples of in the history of devotees of the Lord, right? They have risked their lives for spreading God consciousness. So many examples. Favorite example is Jesus Christ. He was crucified by non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Why was he killed? By non-devotees he was killed. So at the end of 9th chapter, Krishna had told Arjun that fix the mind upon Krishna and be devoted to him. Then to enhance that devotion, he kept on telling, he was revealing further and further. He was telling the secrets, Rajaguhya Yogam, right? After that, he told his opulences. He told in 10th chapter, right? And in the 11th chapter also he told. Now in previous verse, what did he say? He was emphasizing on the supremacy of path of devotion. Now he's concluding the chapter. How is he saying? He is highlighting the characteristics of those who are engaged in devotional service. If you are in devotion, these are the characteristics. What do? They perform their duties for Krishna. They depend upon Krishna. They are devoted to Krishna. They are free from all attachment. They are without hatred towards any being. They don't hate anyone. Instead, they see Paramatma residing in everyone. So they want to forgive. Okay, you have done something wrong. You don't know. Okay, I forgive you. So this is the purport. The purport Srila Prabhupada told of the 11th chapter is to just see the form of Krishna. And that is very essential. And he is the supreme being. That is the purport. And that is the essence. So chapter summary, Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form. Krishna describes his universal form, Arjuna's vision, Arjuna's experience. What did Krishna say? How did Arjuna pray? And then pure bhakti is needed to see Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Let's say together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tomorrow, 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga. Tomorrow will be Bhakti Yoga. We will be reading